Okay, I remember the Democrat communists convinced you all that putting cameras everywhere would keep you safe. You know, you have them on every building, you have them watching you all over the place. The government has surveillance cameras in space. The government has the surveillance cameras that they fly over areas and get the picture of the population before. But I have a question. Okay, this is all supposed to keep you safe, but who is watching it? I don't trust the person who's watching it to keep me safe. I want a copy of the video so I can keep myself safe. And that way I can make money off of my own information. And why are we letting Facebook sell our information and make money for one person? A bunch of people, as far as I can tell, they don't care if their information is sold as long as they're the ones getting the money. You know, why are we not getting $200 an hour for using LifeLock? You know, you want to charge a higher tax rate for the rich people. Well, why not just make everyone rich? Then you can charge us $200 an hour. We can charge the government $200 an hour for using LifeLock. They make duplicate copies of us. Okay, we have 1,000 duplicate copies of ourselves. This replaces there's no reason to have such a high minimum wage when you can have a lower minimum wage and then they can pay you if they decide you are worth it. But if you only had a 10 cents an hour minimum wage, like when I originally did the minimum wage, so the free black slaves could not work less than their white Democrat slave masters. You know, minimum wage was originally designed to be completely racist to prevent the black people from working for less than 10 cents. Now they consider the minimum wage is a living wage. Why did we not just reset the minimum wage, but we have the technology to have 1,000 copies of yourself? That's what the supercomputer was for. The CIA has the technology to know everything about you, but they're not sharing it with you. They're using it to spy on you. Why are we not using it for our own personal information? And now, Google is now offering a Google cell phone that works in other countries too. So now, besides Google having all your information from the search engine, they're gonna have all your phone information. They're gonna be a giant business that are bigger than a bunch of countries. But why are we not getting money? Why do Google, if they want to sell a cell phone, they should be giving away the cell phone for free. If you're gonna, why should we give you money so that you can have our information? You know, be like they are doing with Google and stuff and Facebook. They give it to you for free. You give them your information, and then they sell your information. Because the government has LifeLock, which we can have our own information and make copies of ourselves, making money, but we would rather just one person get the money, I guess, because people here are just kind of crazy. They don't even understand the Democratic Party is in between the Communists and the Nazi Party. Do some research. They're pro-slavery. They're pro-KKK. If you look at the history, from what I learned, they're the party that was against Abraham Lincoln. They're the party that is for slavery. They're a party that is for Jim Crow. Everything they accuse the Republicans and the conservatives they're describing themselves. If you do some research on the German Nazis, they were progressive. They did not like the conservatives. They wanted to control all of Europe, controlled by Germany, kind of like how the EU is doing now. You know, I saw England trying to fight as hard as they can to get away from them. And hopefully within the next year, it'll be completed and they'll be free. I'm never going back there. I've lived there. Well, I grew up here in America, and so I have a green card. So I understand these illegal aliens be like, oh, we don't want to go back to Mexico. You know, but think about it. Mexico is doing a lot better, a lot less violent than some of the cities here in America because the Democrats took away the guns from the law-abiding citizens. So only criminals have guns. You know, that makes no sense to me. And how I look at it is you don't want your slave to have a gun. Because when they figure out that you're controlling them, they're going to get upset. And so you need to take away the guns. You know? Why keep individuals safe when you can enslave a whole city? They don't want individual safety. They want the whole state to be a slave to them. Kind of like how the projects are the new slave. They give you a little bit of food. They give you the shelter. They give you barely enough money to survive. That's why I want lifelong for the American people. Why not use that when money goes towards the person? People go ahead and give away their information to Facebook so that he can sell it to advertisers. But I refuse to use Facebook until I start getting paid for my information. You know, if I got $200 an hour, I would go ahead and use Facebook. Oh, well, $200 an hour, that pays $100 an hour in taxes. So you get 100, your government gets 100. And then April 15th, you get money back depending on all your write-ups and other stuff you can do. But wouldn't that be a lot better than giving away your information to Facebook for free? I mean, I cannot justify giving any of my information to a private company for free. Facebook is ours. We should be getting money from our information. That's why we need to have LifeLog, so we can make digital copies of ourselves. I think Facebook is good for a private company where the money goes to one person, but LifeLog is a government company that could go ahead and give you money for using LifeLog rather than you get earning money from Facebook because you're selling your information. Do you want your information sold, or do you want your information? Do you want your information sold where only one person gets money, or do you want your information sold where you get the money from your own information? They know about you. Don't you want that money? And if they're selling it to a company, they're selling it to Starbucks. I don't really know who they're selling to, but like they're selling it to Starbucks, so they know what you're drinking. So every time you go to your Facebook search page, or your Google search page, or your LifeLog search page, which they'll make it so it's individual for every user. And so we get money for searching on our webpage. We can have a search on every single LifeLog. So the person gets money from searches on their webpage. And we can do it all over. Every person in America can have it. And then we can get the other 5 countries to do it. And then we can go ahead and connect in their computers. But right now we should go ahead and just do it. I want 1,000 copies of myself. The Democrat Party is the party that is trying to trick you into believing that socialism is okay. Socialism was a Nazi platform. That is, the Nazis killed 7 million Jews. The Democrats killed 15 million black people. You think that's a horrible trait. And you don't understand the Democrats are the Nazi party of this era. We did not beat the Nazis. They did not lose the war. They did not win the war. The war is still going on. They invaded America under the illusion we won World War II, but we did not. I mean, Hitler faked his own death. The Russians told us that they did that or whatever is color in the skull, and they determined it was not Hitler. I mean, and then all of a sudden everything froze and no one could go ahead and research his skull. And then if you look at the files, we spent millions of dollars looking for them in South America. Other flat earth people, they don't understand the world is hollow. That is why they're trying to keep you away from over down there. Not to try to convince you the world is round, trying to hide you from knowing the world is hollow. There have been people in our military that went into hollow earth. They tried to slip you stuff so you can think it's just a fiction. But if you do some research, you'll find out it's more than true. The farther you go into it gets looser, less. When Russia dug the deep coal mine, the farther they got, the easier it was for them to dig and the harder it got. but you know, it got looser and more what's it called? What arid, whether arid or whatever, I forget what it's called, where the air is in the on the rocks. Because you have to remember, there is lava flowing under our earth. So the farther down you go, the less dense it is. And if you find a video from NASA, when they put air into a floating bubble, as long as it's spinning, in the middle, there's a big open area of air. They did this thing up in space, if you can find it on YouTube. Why do we not have a government YouTube? We give YouTube and Google all this money, and they're not paying every person every day. I mean, I guess I could figure out a way to get money, but I just don't want to deal with all that crap. I mean, I want money just for using it, for watching videos. They will give you money if you can hook up advertisers and do advertising. You get a small percentage, but that really, we should be getting money for watching videos. If you're using your power, you're wasting your time on YouTube. Why are we not getting money for it? We're seeing advertisements. We should be getting money. Not only us, but the person making the video. Okay. Think about why give money to one corporation when all the individual people should have money, because we're gonna get replaced by automated computer stuff. So I want to control 1,000 copies of an automated Android. You know, maybe my AI is on the computer. And, you know, it's on the computer. We don't have to worry about robot slavery. We have a digital copy of ourselves that's answering the phone and stuff. You guys should all worry about robot slavery in the future, because it's going to be the Democrats that own the robot slaves. You know, I agree with them. I understand we use our technology to create them, and then we're gonna use the technology where they create themselves. And then, you know, you gotta think playing God is wrong, but I'd rather people play God and inspire to be close and like God than aspire to be a devil. Because right now we're playing devil. We are killing babies instead of growing them in the hospital. Even though we have this technology and it is a medical issue, we could grow kids in the hospital. Okay, this is off topic, but there was an accident and the person could not live. So he couldn't die, and they took the baby out and grew it in the hospital. You know, it was super premature, but it turned out fine. All because of our technology and because they didn't want to kill the baby. Think about it. Okay, we have this technology, put it to use to start killing the black population. Okay.